At the onset of the changing tactics in the battlefield, the Philippine Army resorted to a groundbreaking approach in order to defeat the country's enemies once and for all. Unlike in the 1960s, pure combat and bloodshed is no longer the best approach in attaining peace in the prolonged battle within the country. The battle for peace takes place in three fields: combat operations, intelligence operations, and finally, the civil-military operations. As part of the three main operations in the battlefield, the civil-military serves an important role to neutralize enemies' will to fight, make them surrender, or even defeat them through means that require no violence or intimidation. It is giving importance in shaping the perception of the masses and gaining their support, and countering disinformation of the enemy that will remove trust and disregard victories. Without it, the people it serves go without knowledge of the military's efforts and victories. It was this new understanding in the battlefield that gave focus on the civil-military operations of the military. As a great man once said, "The greatest victory is that which requires no battle." Thus, on 16 June 2011, the 1st Civil-Military Operations Unit was born under the Civil-Military Group of the Philippine Army and was placed in operational control to the 1st Infantry Tabak Division. Formerly known as the 1st Civil Affairs Unit, its mission was to provide support to the division by conducting civil-military operations. It was only when the 1st Civil-Military Operations Unit was deactivated that it was reborn to the unit that it is now. On the 24th of June 2011, the unit was activated as a combat support unit that is organic to the 1st Infantry Tabak Division. Henceforth, its name became the 1st Civil-Military Operations Mahigalaon Battalion. Now, its headquarters is located at Kuta Major Cesar L. Sangan, Upper Pulacan, Labangan, Zamboanga del Sur. It stands proud with its new logo, which represents its strengthened purpose for peace. At its center is the logo of the 1st Infantry Tabak Division, the very unit it must support through civil-military operations. The first ID logo is surrounded by three other logos of the same shape. These logos stand for the three pillars of the civil-military operations: PSYOPs, Public Affairs, and Civil Affairs. Behind is a green circle, representing the generosity of Filipinos. A white gear-shaped icon that symbolizes the unit's intent for a long-lasting peace in progress. The two stars that symbolizes charity and generosity. And finally, written around the other symbols is the very name of the battalion, the 1st Civil-Military Operations Mahigalaon Battalion. A Cebuano word that literally means friendly, a word that strongly describes the personnel of the unit. But in order to make true of their mission and purpose, its personnel went under a series of refresher SAMO-related training so that their skills are further sharpened to win the peace. And time again, the 1st Civil-Military Operations Battalion has proven itself in numerous occasions. Peace and Development Squads, Internal Peace and Security Plan Efforts, Bayanihan Team Operations, Promotion of the Army's Image, Mindanao Week of Peace, Promoting Peaceful Elections, Humanitarian Assistance, Partnership with the Department of Education, Partnership with multiple LGUs, Partnership with stakeholders, Loudspeaker Operations, Social Awareness Campaigns, Peace and Development Programs, PCVE Lectures, Marawi Counter Propagandas, Dismantling of Guerrilla Units, and finally, Preventing the Recruitment of Youth in the Student Sector. And many more activities have been continuously conducted under an unbroken succession of leadership until this date, with its succession from its first commanding officer, Major Edmund P. Abella, Infantry General Staff Corps, Philippine Army, then to Lieutenant Colonel Cornelio T. Arboleda, Infantry General Staff Corps, Philippine Army, then the Acting Division Commander of the 1st Infantry Tabak Division, Brigadier General Jose Randolph M. Sino Cruz, Infantry General Staff Corps, Philippine Army. He was then followed by Lieutenant Colonel Victor Nitangawan Jr., Infantry General Staff Corps, Philippine Army. Lieutenant Colonel Aude A. Mungao, Infantry General Staff Corps, Philippine Army. Lieutenant Colonel Benedicto S. Mangquiques, Infantry General Staff Corps, Philippine Army. Lieutenant Colonel Hamaluding B. Pulong, Infantry General Staff Corps, Philippine Army. Lieutenant Colonel Vladimir Lenos de Villanueva, Infantry General Staff Corps, Philippine Army. Lieutenant Colonel Manuel S. Valdez, Infantry General Staff Corps, Philippine Army. Lieutenant Colonel John P. Andrada, Infantry General Staff Corps, Philippine Army. And then Lieutenant Colonel Don L. Villanueva, Infantry General Staff Corps, Philippine Army. To its current commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Abdelhalim H. Sakilan, Military Intelligence General Staff Corps, Philippine Army, who took charge of the unit last 02 February 2022. Since then, the 1st Civil-Military Operations Battalion strengthened its efforts in pursuing the peace through a number of activities. These efforts of the 1st Civil-Military Operations Battalion slowly but progressively changed for the better the perception of the people it serves, and it will continue in touching the lives of the people and ensuring victory in the fight to win the peace. Thanks to our stakeholders, many developments were accomplished in the 1st Civil-Military Operations Battalion. The front of the headquarters of 1 CMO Battalion was developed into the Mahigalaon Bay area. Now, it can cater up to 5 regular-sized vehicles or more, a remarkable development in the facilities of the 1st Civil-Military Operations Battalion. Improved mess hall, kitchen and its comfort room. Our partner from the DPWH, Engineer Kasim, who assisted in transporting sand. Through their assistance, this development in the facilities of 1 CMO Battalion was possible, during which a motor pool was successfully built to house the unit's vehicles. A roof for the armory was also made to prevent a direct contact of heat to the ceiling of the armory.